And 7 police officers will spearhead a neighborhood policing initiative dubbed Crossing Cultural Barriers to Better Serve Our Neighborhoods. The program was launched on Monday, February 24 at the police headquarters in Roadtown as part of activities to observe Police Week 2014, being held under the slogan, Serving a Diverse Community. More in this report. Identified as one of 6 strategic priorities to improve public trust and confidence in the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, Commissioner of Police David Morris says the neighborhood policing initiative has been a work in progress since his appointment.
When I first arrived and spoke to the communities, the thing that they've always told me is that they want to see their own visible, dedicated police officer in their neighbourhoods. In fact, they want to go back to the original policing that we had in this territory some years ago when Mr. Devonish was a constable in East End. I still go to East End and they still remember him as a constable in East End, and that's what we need to get back to where the public remember who their officers are.
The Commissioner says neighborhood policing is a challenging undertaking, but he sees the officers as agents of change.
They will be based in the local police stations, working with the local cops and working with the local communities. These officers are, as I refer to them, agents of change. They will form relationships with the residents and the business people in order to bring people from all cultures together and make a difference within those communities.
The 7 neighborhood police officers will operate under the Community Safety Department headed by Sergeant Tilda Henry and will be based at their local police stations.
Change will only be effective if you, the serving officers, serve as platforms for the police and the communities to come together to work on joint programs to build safer and more secure neighborhoods.
Mrs. Eugenia O'Neill also raised several issues when she spoke at the ceremony on behalf of the Roadtown Anti-Crime Group.
In addition to community policing, we wanted to see minimum sentences for gun crimes and for gun possession. We also wanted to see the accelerated adoption of CCTV cameras all around town, especially, but in other communities is needed too. And we wanted to see more police officers in the force. Saying that we have 200 police officers or 210 or whatever it is on the establishment sounds like there's a lot. But when you start breaking it down by the various communities or the various stations and then by the various units, and then you remove the officers who are actually on leave because they are on study leave or vacation leave, then you don't really have that many officers. And so while we can all complain that perhaps we're not seeing things being done by the RVIPF that we'd like to see done, are we trying to encourage our government to put more resources into the RVIPF so that they can do the things that we want them to do?
Honorable Alvera Maduro Keynes is looking forward to positive change in the 6th District, but says this requires the officers to lead by example.
Personally, I think it's a good initiative and it's really needed in the 6th. And I guess everyone knows Bellevue is now becoming a hot spot, so to say, with all the shooting and you know the different things going on up there. So it's a welcoming program, you know, and I welcome it highly. And I think it would help because really and truly when you look at it, most of the youngsters still respect the police and they would tend to hide. I know when I go in certain areas of the district and they see my vehicle pull up, if they're gambling or whatever they'll do, they'll hide. You know, they'll run and hide. And I still see that when police come around. But the one thing I must say though is that as policemen, they have to lead by examples. And if, you know, the youth see them doing something that's not becoming, then they would want to think, well, why are the police harassing me? And he's doing this or he's doing that, you know. But it's a great initiative and I think it would help the 6th District greatly.
Constable Shem Stay, responsible for North Sound Virgin Gorda, spoke of his plans to improve police-community relations in his area.
We've been chosen to go out there now to bridge the gap, basically. Go into the community, talk to the people, meet the leaders, meet the business people, go to the school, talk to the children, listen to their concern, and see how much we can address the concern.
I also asked Constable Alvin Bolton, who is charged with responsibility for the Purcell Estate Boggers Bay area, how he intends to bridge the gap between the police and the prevailing negative perceptions about the police. Some guys see policing as really being a Babylon system and not necessarily there for the people, but rather to oppress the people. How do you think you'll bridge that gap?
I already see that problem coming, because, you know, everybody got this thing about police is evil and Babylon and this. My job is to show them the opposite. Show them that we are not the enemy. We are basically the friends. We are sworn to make a duty to uphold the law. We're going to teach you how to be within the law. That's how we're going to do it.
Support for the program came from 5th District Representative Honorable Dolores Christopher.
It can have far-reaching results. Not some of them may eventually want to be policemen themselves, or they can serve to motivate others who might tend to slip into trouble. You know, you might have guys around who would help to give advice. Same way as the coaches coach the basketball players. You know, people who are responsible, and the older ones giving advice to younger ones. But then you know you have the police to back you up. You know the force is there behind you.
And 1st District Representative Honorable Andrew Foy is also anticipating a positive outcome from the neighborhood policing program.
Well, I anticipate a cohesive relationship with the police so that we could make sure that our communities stay as much as possible crime-free, so that the perception of the police in terms of the negative perception could be changed in certain areas. It's not negative in every area, but that could be changed into a positive mindset by the people, especially our youth. And we're going to be targeting the schools, different areas, doing different speech to the different area, different speeches to the different area, so that they can familiarize themselves with the police, get to ask questions.
Constable Damian Ash has been assigned to the Huntom's Gut Lower Estate area, Constable Curtis Roberts to Road Town, Constable Alvin Bolton to Purcell Estate, Boggers Bay, Constable Clyde Potter to Fat Hogs Bay East End, Longlook, Constable Annelle Francis to West End, Constable Dwight Williams to the Valley, Virgin Gorda, and Constable Shemstay, North Sound, Virgin Gorda. Commissioner Morris says the RVIPF will host meetings in the respective communities to formally introduce the local neighborhood officers. And listening to the responses from the officers and the district representatives present here today, it is expected that this can bring about some change in the respective communities. Sean Rose, JTV News. Other activities during Police Week 2014 were a health walk, breakfast and a health screening, and funds were raised on behalf of the BVI Cancer Association and the BVI Diabetes Association. There were also softball and basketball games and cricket matches, along with an invitational pool tournament and a games night. A popular bingo night was also held, while a dog show at the Festival Village grounds brought the curtains down on the week of activities.